The movie opens with Bart, a sharp, cold man who makes his money the dirty way, by handing out high-interest loans to anyone desperate enough to take them. But as with most shady operations, people don't like paying back what they owe. Bart's solution? Ruthless and disturbing. He turned his own nephew, Danny, into a weapon. Trained him like an attack dog. Danny wears a collar. And when it stays on, he's quiet, passive, almost childlike. But once Bart takes it off, Danny becomes something else entirely. A feral, unstoppable fighter. Between these brutal confrontations, Danny doesn't live like a person. He's caged like an animal, fed the cheapest canned food, left to pass time with the same worn-out children's book. He clings to one image, a simple picture of a piano, something about it giving him a sense of peace he doesn't understand. One day, Bart shows up at a new client's office expecting business as usual, but the meeting goes south fast. The client's men are ready. They disarm Bart and his team before he has a chance to unleash Danny. Bart yells, desperate to set him loose, but the collar is still on. Danny just stands there, motionless. In the chaos, Bart breaks free. He claws his way back to Danny and yanks the collar off. That's all it takes. In seconds, Danny explodes into violence, transforming into a storm of fists and fury that tears through the room, leaving no one standing. Bart is seething. In his eyes, Danny failed him, because a proper dog always protects its master. Determined to fix what he sees as disobedience, Bart invents a new method of control. A red light bulb, rigged to a panic button. It's simple. When the light flashes, Danny attacks. No hesitation, no questions. At the next job inside a warehouse, Bart sets up the system and leaves Danny behind with one order. Watch the bulb and wait. The moment it glows red, he's to charge into the next room. Danny nods and waits in silence, but something else is in that room. A real piano. The same kind Danny has seen only in his book. The pull is too strong. He turns away from the light and gently presses a few keys, drawn in by the strange, soothing sound. That's when someone new enters. A man wearing dark glasses, moving carefully. He's blind, but full of warmth. A piano tuner. Instead of shooing Danny away, he greets him kindly and asks if he's free to help. He could use an extra hand. The man shows Danny how to press the keys while he works beneath the lid, adjusting the strings. Danny does as he's told, and the result stuns him. A soft, beautiful chord rings out from the piano. For a moment, the harsh world around him fades. The man introduces himself as Sam, but the calm doesn't last. Sam pauses, frowning. He hears something. A faint clicking. Confused, Danny snaps to attention and bolts into the next room. But he's already too late. The scene is chaos. Bart and his crew have been ambushed and taken down. Furious, Bart blames Danny and once they're home, punishes him the only way he knows how. He locks Danny back in his cage. Soon after, someone knocks at the door. It's Wyatt, a security guard from the job that went wrong. But he isn't here to complain. He's impressed. He saw Danny fight and couldn't believe it. Wyatt has a proposition. Underground fight leagues, high-stakes matches where the winner walks away with up to $500,000. But there's a brutal twist. The loser has to die. Bart's eyes light up. It's exactly what he wants. He doesn't hesitate, he just asks when they can begin. Wyatt offers a trial match against a killer no one's managed to beat. Bart wastes no time. He reaches for Danny's collar and removes it. Wyatt is thrilled with the outcome, and Bart, he's over the moon. In just a few brutal minutes, Danny's fight has earned more cash than Bart's seen in 2 decades. He's riding high on the victory, grinning like a man who's just struck gold. Still basking in his success, Bart does something unexpected. He asks Danny if there's anything he wants. Danny, in his soft, careful voice, says he wants a piano. Bart stares at him for a second, then breaks into loud, mocking laughter. A piano? To him, it's ridiculous. But then, people step out of a nearby truck and open fire, unloading bullets straight into Bart's car. Watching from the shadows is a familiar face, one of Bart's past victims, a borrower he publicly humiliated just days earlier. As the truck speeds away, the wreckage left behind is grim. But then, from the mangled cargo bed, Danny crawls out, bloodied, battered, but alive. With nowhere else to go, he runs to the only place that ever gave him a sense of peace, the warehouse, where he met Sam. By sheer luck, Sam is there. But before Danny can get a word out, he collapses from blood loss. Everything fades. When he wakes up, it's in a stranger's bed. Disoriented and afraid, Danny immediately hides underneath it, heart pounding. Moments later, Sam appears, calm and gentle, holding a plate of toast with peanut butter. He tells Danny he's been asleep for 2 days, and that he won't ask any questions unless Danny wants to talk. Danny doesn't say a word. For days, he refuses to come out from under the bed. But then, one afternoon, he hears music, a piano, playing softly from the living room. The sound draws him out. As he steps into the room, he's startled by a teenage girl walking in. It's Sam's stepdaughter, Victoria. She eyes Danny curiously and asks who he is. Sam admits he doesn't know much, only that the boy seems to love music. Later that day, Victoria brings Danny a small, worn-out keyboard. She tells him it belonged to her late father, Sam's best friend. After her dad passed away, Sam married her mother, but she, too, died in a car crash. Danny listens quietly, absorbing every word. That evening, something changes. For the first time, Danny joins them at the dinner table. His awkwardness is obvious. He doesn't even know how to hold a spoon, but neither Sam nor Victoria judge him. 2 weeks pass. One morning, Sam suggests they take a walk. After dropping Victoria off at school, Sam begins teaching Danny how to pick groceries. Fresh. And how to cook. While they prepare a meal together, Danny notices family photos on a cabinet. Softly, he murmurs that he has no family of his own. Later that night, Victoria invites him to the piano. She patiently teaches him a few simple notes. Danny quickly picks up the left-hand part, and she plays the right. In the next room, Sam listens, smiling to himself. Music is becoming their shared language. Time moves forward, and slowly, Danny becomes part of their lives. They go on walks, take photos together, laugh, and make music. One evening, Victoria asks him where he learned the song he plays so often. Danny doesn't know. When she reaches for the collar around his neck, he flinches, afraid. But she gently insists. It's time to let go. She removes it. As old memories and trauma surge back, she's there, calming him, holding him steady. The next morning, Sam brings Danny along to work. On the way, he shares something big. Once Victoria graduates, they plan to move back to New York, but they want Danny with them. He's family now. They hug, and for the first time in a long while, Danny agrees. Sam even splits his paycheck, telling Danny to spend it on whatever makes him happy. But outside a small corner shop, Danny runs into someone he never wanted to see. One of Bart's men. The guy's shocked, grinning, like he's just hit the jackpot. He tells Danny that Bart's been hunting for him. Danny refuses to go back, but the man's threat is clear. If Danny doesn't come willingly, Bart will come for the people he now loves. Danny is taken straight to Bart. The first thing he asks is whether Bart ever knew his mother. Bart just laughs. Since when does his stupid nephew care about things like that? He claims he found Danny on the streets and that no one else ever cared about him. Then it's back to business. Bart drags Danny to Wyatt's latest underground match. But before the fight begins, Danny quietly tells him he doesn't want to hurt people anymore. Bart tries to manipulate him, dangling the one thing he knows Danny wants, a piano. If Danny wins, he'll buy him one. But Danny still says no, so Bart pushes harder. The fight begins, but something's wrong. Wyatt, watching from the sidelines, starts to panic. He's clearly furious with Bart. Danny isn't fighting back. He just stands there, barely defending himself. Bart's frustration boils over. In a desperate move, he tosses a weapon into the ring. But Danny hesitates. Before he can decide what to do, his opponent grabs the axe instead. Even with weapons drawn, the fight still isn't giving Wyatt the bloodbath he promised the audience. So he makes it worse. He sends more thugs into the arena. Now Danny faces multiple armed attackers alone. He tries to defend himself, but he's overwhelmed. Soon, he's on the ground, barely conscious. Bart shouts at him from above, rage in his voice. If Danny loses, he dies. That threat finally stirs something inside him. Danny rises. One by one, he takes them all down. Even when a pile of weapons drops from above, he doesn't hesitate. He fights with brutal precision. But when it's down to the last opponent, he stops. He won't kill. He refuses. Bart is livid. There's no payday unless someone dies. And his obedient dog has just turned on him. Back at the house, Danny is thrown into the cage again. Bart rages at the lost money and disobedience. Meanwhile, across town, Sam and Victoria sit at the dinner table, worried sick. They have no idea where Danny is or what's been done to him. Later, when Bart leaves the house, Danny seizes the chance. He pries off the bars of his cage and searches the archives. Buried among the dusty files, he finds an old photograph, a young woman sitting at a piano. Something about her is hauntingly familiar. When Bart returns, Danny confronts him. He knows now. Bart lied. That woman is his mother. Bart brushes it off with cruel indifference. says she was just a prostitute who died when Danny was still a toddler. Nothing more. The next day, Bart takes Danny on another job. As they drive, Bart rambles about how families should stick together, meaning him and Danny. But he has no clue what kind of storm is brewing inside his nephew. In the middle of Bart's monologue, the driver loses control. The vehicle crashes. Danny escapes. He tears off the collar and runs, straight back to Sam and Victoria. At their house, he shows them the photo, tells them everything Bart said, but Victoria doesn't buy Bart's story. She points out a detail in the picture. Danny's mother is sitting at a piano in what looks like a music school. Sam recognizes the room. He takes Danny there. Inside, they meet a woman who once knew the girl in the photo. She remembers Danny's mother well, a gifted pianist with real promise. But one day, she disappeared. People whispered that she was in trouble, desperate for money, and might have gotten involved with dangerous people. The woman hands Danny another photo. More fragments of memory start to return. That night, at home, Danny and Victoria study the new picture. She points out a sheet of music on the piano and uses a magnifying glass to identify the piece, a Mozart sonata. She plays it, and as the melody fills the room, something inside Danny breaks open. He remembers everything. He remembers the day men came to their home, how his mother hid him in a closet, how she tried to fight back, how they killed her right in front of him. When Sam returns, Victoria pulls him aside. She tells him Danny finally remembered everything and that they have to leave town immediately, but they're already out of time. Bart found them. He got their address from a local store clerk. Now he's parked outside. Acting fast, Danny locks Sam and Victoria in a closet and tells them to stay silent. Then he prepares for what's coming. As Bart's men storm the house, Danny meets them head on. The first wave goes down fast. He's not the same boy they once controlled. Realizing things have escalated, Bart sends in someone special. His secret weapon, a master of Kung Fu. A brutal fight breaks out as Danny and the Kung Fu master crash through one apartment after another, smashing walls, furniture, and anything else in their way. The two are evenly matched and neither one can take control. The battle is fierce, loud, and destructive, like a storm tearing through a home. Then, Danny spots a moment of weakness. He pushes his opponent hard, sending the man flying backward into a window. The curtain doesn't hold. The man falls straight down, landing directly on top of Bart's car right where Bart is sitting. Furious, Bart grabs a gun and storms into the building, ready to finish this himself. On the stairs, he runs into Danny. With anger boiling over, Bart tells him he's lost everything, and it's all Danny's fault. If he had just obeyed, they could have been rich. Bart fires his gun, but Danny slips away, climbing up into the ceiling of a nearby apartment. Bart doesn't stop. He bursts into Sam's apartment and instantly knows he's in the right place. Danny's collar is sitting on a chair like it's waiting for him. That's when Danny crashes down from above and lands in front of him. Bart looks around and mocks the place. He says this nice little home isn't meant for someone like Danny. He says Danny ruined everything these good people gave him, just like he ruins everything, because deep down he's just a dog. And when a dog becomes dangerous, you put it down. But Bart doesn't shoot. Instead, he pulls out the collar and tries one last time to take control. He begs Danny to come home, saying it's the only life that fits him. Danny lowers his head and slowly starts walking toward him. But just as Bart reaches out to snap the collar back on, Danny's eyes change. In a flash, he lunges forward, grabs Bart by the throat, and slams him into the wall. Rage explodes out of him. Years of pain come flooding to the surface. Victoria cries out in fear, and Sam bursts from the closet, begging Danny to stop. Danny shouts that Bart killed his mother. But Sam pleads with him. He tells Danny that he's not like Bart, and he doesn't have to become him. Danny begins to loosen his grip. His hands shake. But then Bart, even with the air leaving his lungs, starts laughing. He says horrible things about Danny's mother and tells him he'll always be a dog and a killer. That's when Sam acts. He grabs a flower pot from a nearby table and smashes it over Bart's head, finally knocking him out. Months later, everything has changed. In New York City, inside Carnegie Hall, Sam and Danny sit quietly in the audience. On stage, Victoria steps up to the piano with grace and confidence. She dedicates her performance to Danny and begins to play the Mozart sonata. As the familiar notes drift through the concert hall, something inside Danny breaks open. He remembers the song. He remembers his mother. And for the first time in his life, tears fall not from pain, but from joy.